my God, where is he? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Boo! That's where I'm at. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the 13th hour. It's been a minute. Life has gotten kind of crazy. Things have been busy, but I'm back to a regular routine. Happy to announce that I was able to do a little bit of traveling, had family come in to California, and life is feeling insanely normal, and Disneyland is feeling crazy, crazy normal. 2019's standards of normal, that is. Welcome everybody to this week's show. We'll get started at 5 minutes in. So if you're finding this on the replay, make sure you just skim up to the first where it says 5 minutes there in the clock, or click the little linky thing down in the bottom below here. But I'm going to like to spend the first 5 minutes saying hello to all my friends that showed up live to make this a part of their day. I want to give a shout out to my friend Drop Dead Red. I congratulate you on just hitting the Amazon Prime Day. Oh, the text messages just love to come in as soon as I go live. Nobody bothers me until I go live. And then everybody just runs, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Brickey, where you been at all day? It's like, I'm going live. The Prime thing doesn't work for me. Not that I'm like anti-Amazon. I mean, I should be, but it's too much digging. I don't know. Amazon's like the Walmart of websites, right? Like, it's just so ugly. Let's get this little beverage going. Yeah. What's up, Brother Breeze? How you doing? Stephanie, how you doing, bud? Daphne Lee, Carrie Robinson. Hello, Carrie. How are you? Let's see. AK47 says, hey, Mikey Staines. Talking about Mickey-shaped ice cubes. See, that's the type of community I'm here to serve. People that are busy talking about Mickey-shaped ice cubes. That's why I show up. That's why I play the game. What's up, Larry? How you doing, brother? Caitlin, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. That's right, Pepper's Ghost. It's stream time. I scared you guys. I know I scared you with that boo out of the gate. I scared you big time, and that will play part of what we're going to talk about once we get started today. Crystal Ray, what's up? Jesse Adventure, how you doing? Good to see everybody over there. I want to give a day late shout out to all the Disneyland dads out there, and I want to beg people for one thing. God, do I talk about this on the Disneyland stream or no? I'm going to do it. I just want to beg people on one thing. If you want to give men a chance to rise up and to be what they're destined to be as good men and good fathers, on Father's Day, please don't give a shout out to all the single moms, because just imagine on Mother's Day how you would feel if I gave a shout out to all the single dads. My dad raised me. He had my back for me my entire life. My mom's not a good person, and it really, really hurts my feelings on Father's Day when people stop to give a shout out to the moms. Hey, I love moms. Moms are rad people. Fun fact, moms are very important to make more humans happen. But it really degrades either gender when we celebrate the opposite on that day. So Mother's Day, let's go hard for the moms. But Father's Day, let's just give the dads a day. It really, really upsets me and it bums me out. And you know, on my channel, I am for diversity. I'm for all people. I believe that love matters. I believe that, everybody should have a fair shake. I get a lot of hatred because I'm pro the changing of the parks to make them more culturally diverse. But I also believe that everybody should have their day to shine. So I don't, during Black History Month, be like, don't forget all the great white people. I just think that, there's a time and place for everything, and we should give everybody a proper place to feel acknowledged and to feel celebrated. And that's just, I'll stop that. So happy late Father's Day to all the fathers. Not the space to do it, but I felt compelled to, because I can't stop myself. All right. Now that I just made a lot of people mad. Okay, let's get started on the news now that I've gone way off topic. So, by the way, if you just showed up at the 5 minutes, you might have just missed the hottest topic of the entire episode. And by the way, speaking of the fact that I believe that love matters, my Disneyland Pride shirt just showed up today. So I will be definitely rocking that this summer to show everybody that I'm an ally. And they announced that the Pride Days will be happening in September instead of October. It seemed like for a while Disneyland had begged the folks that put together the Pride Days out at the park, can you please please get it out of October? Like, guys, we're all on board. We believe the love matters. We're selling a ton of rainbow merchandise. But could you please just get out of the crowded Halloween month and maybe hang out hard with your red t-shirts on 1 month in September? And I put that weekend in my calendar, circled it, going to try to be out there to cover that because I believe that is something that is important, and I love that my park represents everyone. Okay, let me lower my chair and get off the soapbox. Brick Root over here. Oh, Brick Root is such a good nickname, Federalist. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do this. Let's get into talking about the fireworks are coming back and what that really symbolizes. So the fireworks coming back is just a huge victory for so many different ways. You know, this past week, I was lucky enough to be at the park Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Yeah. I did back-to-back days, which is really, really rare, but that meant that I had friends in from out of town, and I can't resist being there with a friend. Daphne Lee, thank you so much for your support. 1313, my friend. Brickey came in hot with the issues today. All right, yeah. Let's just talk about Disneyland fireworks. Let me just steer my live stream out of that. Why am I such a Duke boy? I cannot resist it. Why am I a politically correct Duke boy? But the fireworks coming back is just one of many things that is symbolizing a rampant return to normalcy at the park. I'm kind of impressed that I was able to get that sentence out. Those are big words for my small brain, but it is definitely a rampant return to normalcy. I'm going to use it twice because it was so good. But what it shows is, like, last Tuesday, I don't think many people were expecting that exact day that the out-of-town guests could come back in, that also the mask would be away. And a lot of people were wondering, what will Tuesday be like? You know, with all the out-of-state citizens of Disneyland able to return, you know, is the park going to be overflooded? And a lot of the media really try to do their sneaky peek thing. We're like, whoa, the line is all the way backed up to 7-Eleven on Harbor. It's going to be a Disney apocalypse. Get ready for COVID 2.0 that started at Disneyland. And that simply wasn't the case. This past week was one of the most beautiful, memorable weeks of my entire Disneyland life. Which, by the way, I'm getting ready to hit my 10-year anniversary next month of going to Disneyland for the first time. And you're like, whoa. I'm watching a channel with a guy who's only been there for 10 years. 600 visits in 10 years. I've put in my double time. But what made last week so special that I want to get into, and why the fireworks are so important, is that the first 2 weeks of the Disneyland reopening, right? We had the cast member previews. Then that Friday, we had the opening to everybody. And those first 2 weeks were really, really great because Disneyland could have hard went in at 25% capacity. But what they did was they came in much lower than that. And so for those first 2 weeks, the park felt great because there was probably only about 10 to 15% of the actual capacity of the parks allowed in. So therefore, what happened was even though we all had to stay 6 feet apart, and even though we couldn't all go into the stores or eat inside the restaurants or stand inside of these indoor queues that have been beautifully designed to just eat people, you know, not really eat people, but eat attendance, we found that for the first couple of weeks, the thoroughfares, the streets, the paths of Disneyland could hold all of the people. However, each week, Disney was slowly going up. 2%, going up another 3%, added another 5% in. And as we saw those percentages get higher and higher and higher, the park became less fun, and felt overcrowded. And that was because we were adding in more people, but not adding in more space. Less people on the attractions, less people in the shops, no people in the restaurants, really. And so therefore, the park was getting crowded. But on Tuesday, when California said, we did it, we're back to normal, all of a sudden, the attractions could hold all of the people. So whereas Rise of the Resistance was just me if I was there by myself, it was now holding me plus 7. Pirates was holding 18 people in those boats. The restaurants were back to being full. The shops were back to having people in it. Everything was able to hold the people that it was designed, but you combine that with only 35% capacity, and Disneyland was back to being a dream. And I'm not someone who typically goes to the park on weekends. I think out of all of my visits, nearly 95% of them have been Monday through Friday because I just have that kind of loser lifestyle. But what I want to say is Saturday was possibly one of the most beautiful days I'd ever seen in Disneyland proper. Now, DCA was feeling pretty busy, but that's a whole different scenario. But as far as Disneyland proper goes, it was amazing. So if you're lucky enough to have reservations this week and probably next week, I would expect to see the parks still staying at this perfect balance of room to absorb all the people, but in attendance that's low enough not to flood the pathways. But as I have been a student of Disneyland, they always kind of show you their hand, and we can learn a lot about the future by being a student of the past. And by doing that, what we can see is that this return to normalcy with out-of-state people allowed in, everybody allowed back in, week by week, they will add in another few percent, and their goal will be to slowly gradient from 35% probably to, I don't know, 75, 80% they'll start running the reservation system at. So what I'm saying is, if you can get in there sooner than later, you'll have a moment to catch some beautiful, beautiful Disneyland. Want to thank my bud Drop Dead Red for the super chat. Says nothing but love, Captain Sit Stir, Team Glow Grapes. Oh, I see. She's giving me a shout out on my rough opening where I'm like, you know what I'm going to do to this live stream? I'm just going to break it before I even start it. Maria says, are they doing full capacity or only limited people? No, so Disneyland is allowed right now to go to 100%. But Maria, you ask a very popular question that a lot of citizens of Disneyland are wondering. And by the way, greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. The 13th hour is back, baby. But Maria, you ask a very important question. And that question is this. Is Disneyland back to 100%? No, they could be. Legally, they could go to 100%. But they're currently at what I heard from cast members around 35%. And this is the goal. I would believe that their goal would be to each week add more and more people in because they're bringing more cast members back online to work in the park. They're going to be adding in, I'm assuming, more entertainment offerings, which is what we're going to talk about today as we look at what the summer 2021 of Disneyland could look like. So the idea was if they just let 100% of the people in on that Tuesday, it would literally be a disaster and the cast members wouldn't be able to handle that. So the easiest way to make the park grow and to allow the cast members the room and the bandwidth to anticipate what's going to happen is to slowly get there, right? So each week, add in another few thousand people, get that nailed, do their operations, make sure they're able to handle that, make sure that, they've got enough staff, and then go, we're ready for another 3,000 or 5,000 next week. And I believe that will slowly work its way up to wherever they want to, sort of top off. Because with the reservation system, they now have the ability to forecast their attendance for every day of the park, which is going to give them such a competitive edge up on staffing for each day, ordering supplies for the restaurants and the shops. Like the reservation system, I believe, is here to stay. And if I own Disneyland, I would not let the reservation system go away just because it gives them so much control in business. But to all the people that think, well, I told you. If the pass holes go away, then the park won't be so overcrowded. Well, you're half right, but you're mostly wrong. Because right now there are no annual passes, and you're right. The park is a dream to cruise through. You got elbow room. You can do whatever you want to do. Saturday night, the last 2 hours, many attractions were just walk-ons. But that's because of the amount of reservations that Disney put out into the ecosystem. Once Disney starts adding in another 5, 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000 reservations, and those get bought up, then we will be back due to a busy, packed park. And it won't matter that APs are there or not. It will matter about how many people are willing to buy tickets each day. What I think bodes well for an annual pass return is the fact that the reservations and the tickets just don't sell out immediately. At 35%, it has taken Disneyland quite some time to sell out these dates. But typically, most dates do sell out about 3 or 4 weeks out from actually striking the calendar. So it's going to be an interesting balance. But I will tell you this, it is Disney's responsibility to get as many people in the park as possible and to get as many people spending as much as possible. If they can go 60% or higher, we'll say 55%. or higher each day without annual passes, they will not let the past come back. And you will see a park that feels somewhat like old times without the pass holes being there. And I say that term because there are so many people that hate annual pass holders. But my idea is this, is that if they can get the park around 60% full and everybody's paying a single ticket, they're making more money, customer experience is up, and really you're only talking about a difference of 5, 10, 15,000 people, because it's not like everybody showed up every single day in the past. It'll be very, very interesting to see where all this goes. JD, aka Josh Cool Guy DeMauro, the legend of the Disneyland Resort, he did a little article with the LA Times, and they're using the term membership program exclusively now. And I don't know about you, but I don't have many membership programs that are what was like to have an annual pass. So that's a different topic for a different day. We'll be monitoring that and getting it there. But I just want to give you guys a video today to let you know what the summer season looks like. My advice, if you want to go to Disneyland this summer, try to get there sooner than later, because each week we should see an increase in attendance. And also, with the way that the weather works here in Southern California, we will also see an increase in temperature. So between now and Labor Day, I would expect each week to slowly build, to slowly get hotter, and for the experience to slowly kind of go in a little bit of a different direction. Brett says, I sure hope not. I'm heading out on the 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Well, if that's July, Brett, you're good. If it's August, I would consider that there will probably be an additional 10 to 20,000 people there when you get there. But this weekend, the park could have held more people, no doubt about it. Carrie Robinson says, you got a caffeine high from your brews at Oga's the other day. It was good to see you so happy and silly. Great vlog. Carrie Robinson, thank you so much. And what I want to say to Carrie's comment, by the way, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate that, bud. I spent a lot of the last year doing Disneyland news because I felt like the opinion that I represent was missing in the ecosystem. And I'm still going to continue to do news videos. I'm going to still continue to do the designer walkthroughs. Like, I still want to focus on the history and the intellectual and the emotional story that is Disneyland. But I also am excited to get back to vlogging and just having fun inside of Disneyland. So I have a vlog that'll drop tomorrow, and I'll be filming another one this Thursday. And by the way, if you're going to be in DCA this Thursday, I'm looking for a partner in crime in a little something special that I'm doing for the vlog. So if you're going to be around DCA on this Thursday, hit me up, and maybe I can treat you to a treat if you're willing to be my partner in crime on a little Disneyland hack that I'm putting together. Okay, so let's get into this. Why fireworks is such a big deal is because fireworks means, I've got so many monitors here, so monitor wealthy. So one of the reasons why that is a big deal is the park's going to be open till 10. Once again, remember, there was a moment when the park was open till 7. Then we got to 9. Now we're working our way up to 10. The attendance is just going to be like the time we're going to be working our way there. But as the park stays open later, and there's more and more people spread out through the day, do expect the evenings to be a bit more busy. Also expect people to be showing up early and not making it the whole way. So you're going to start to get, what are you doing? You're going to start to get a Disneyland that is once again kind of divided up into different categories, different people, and you'll see it all together. All right. The show that they're returning with is Mickey's Mix Magic. This is a cute show. It's not the longest show. It's actually a pretty easy show. And this is the first one that they did post Disneyland Forever, which, if you'll remember, was the epic 60th anniversary show. What makes Mickey's Mix Magic so special is that they can run it without the fireworks. So this was designed to be something on Monday through Fridays, when they didn't want to take those environmental credits out and fire up the fireworks, or maybe the little white balloon goes too far off to the side. Mickey's Mix Magic gives them the ability to do a shorter show that doesn't need the fireworks. But the fireworks will be back. They're saying July 4th, but if it's like anything else, if you're there on the 2nd or 3rd, you might get a soft preview, because Oga's Cantina, didn't open up till Friday, but I was there on Tuesday and fortunate enough to be there when also the Stormtroopers found out that it was opening up on Tuesday. So we also saw the Disneyland Band unofficially performing on Friday, but I believe today was the hard date where you can actually see their performances in the calendar. So there could be a chance that if you have a couple of early nights there, you might see some boom booms in the sky. And what I would like to remind you is if Main Street is feeling crowded, don't forget that these projection shows, you can always see them on the front facade of It's a Small World, which also will get you even closer to the boom booms because they happen. Why am I calling them boom booms? What am I talking to? A bunch of babies? You can see the fireworks that launch right on the other side of Toontown. Food for thought. When Mickey's Runaway Railway opens, it will be one of the top 5 most popular attractions in Disneyland. For a while, it will be the number 1 popular attraction in Disneyland because it'll be the new. And then it'll fall beside Rise of the Resistance. It'll be in that Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Elite Space Mountain crowd. When Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opens, what will they do about closing Toontown? Surely they won't close one of the most popular attractions at sunset and leave it closed for the rest of the duration of the evening, especially in the winter because sunset is pretty early. Will they do what they do with Fantasyland, where they rope off Walt's Fantasyland, where the dark rides are? Will they rope it off during the fireworks and then reopen Toontown? Will there just be a path to get to the attraction? Something to think about. Katie Baker, you're right. They do boom, boom really loud when you're in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I really hope that that Star Wars night gets rescheduled and we get to see finally some fireworks officially designed for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. All right. Moving on to our next topic, and if you're a member of Club 1313, I have the Fast Pass line open. So if you have a question or comment, you always have direct access into the show. So make sure you hit me up over on the Fast Pass in the Club 1313 Discord. If I would give you a pro tip for fireworks, let's say you don't like standing in big lines, you don't want to be in a big crowd, and you're not really worried about seeing the projections on Main Street or on the front facade of It's a Small World, the area that I have circled here for you, that is what I will always refer to as the Village House Courtyard, but is now the Red Rose Tavern because they put some stickers up. That courtyard is a solid spot. If you're doing a date night, if you just want fireworks and you don't need the show, if you're not like me, because when the Frozen remix comes on, I just can't help myself. I rip off my t-shirt, I stand on top of the garbage can, and I dance like a go-go dancer because that Frozen Let It Go hot club remix it gets my foot tapping. Feel like I could do a little Steamboat Brickey right now. But if you're not worried about that and you just want good time with your special person, this little courtyard is such a great spot because it's most of the time largely abandoned. You can find a table, you can find a chair. The fireworks are right over your trees in front of you. And I find this to be probably the best spot for fireworks if you're looking for the vibes. Okay, this music is horrible. I knew I shouldn't have just picked random. Give me a second. It's what is it? Were we at a Disneyland spa? What's going on here? You want to tell me what spots have been sore lately and just circle them on this little person that doesn't look like a person? All right. New F2W launchers are on top of new firework launchers are on top of Runaway Railway. Is that what you're saying? You can't hear the music? You guys don't hear music playing in the background? You don't hear this? Oh, I had music playing. I guess only I could hear it. We don't hear music. All right. Well, then that doesn't make sense, but whatever. I'll go with it. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. Now we can. Oh, I had it too low for you guys. That's what the problem was. Because it was bad spa music. That's why. This is pretty bad too, though. I should probably pick out a playlist before I go live. All right, anyways. I can hear it because I have headphones on. Oh, yeah, well, I hit stop AK-47. It's back off. It's on. It's back off. You don't know how annoying this is when there's like a 2-minute delay. Okay, let's move on. The fireworks being back is a good indication that soon we could see Fantasmic coming back as people are staying there later. People that are there later, longer days, it divides the park up into 2 shifts. Not most people do the whole run. So therefore, it can bring more people in, more revenue. We're also seeing indications of that the nighttime shows could be back because we're seeing work over on Sailing Ship Columbia. And I also saw over in Mice chat today that there was reports that some Magic Happens cast members are making rumbles about returning. So hopefully we could see parades coming back, all the other nighttime entertainment coming back, which if that's the case, that could give Disney lots of fun things happening all throughout the summer, which would then make people keep going, I'll buy a ticket. I'll come back. The Frozen remix, I wish I could play it, but then I won't make any money. And kind of need to make money. Glam Blue Eye says, I can't wait for Fantasmic. I am right there with you. Greetings from North Germany. How are you? I'm fine, Dieter F. So as I'm saying, you could see that whereas the fireworks start, that could just be the opening to more of these shows coming back and back online, because we have seen things return at a very, very brisk pace. So as we're looking and trying to forecast what the summer 2021 season would look like, the later in the summer you go there, the more activities that you will have. But the downside is probably more people. But if you go there earlier this summer, there's less happening, but you get probably a more favorable attendance if you like a Disney park that's a little bit quieter. Over on the Fast Pass, Andrew says, when are we going on that ride, Brickey? Well, I'm going to be going on that ride this September when I go out to Walt Disney World. I will be in Walt Disney World the last week in September, doing live streams from all 4 parks. And then on Friday, October 1st, when the 50th anniversary kicks off, I will be jumping from park to park all day, giving you guys nonstop coverage of the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary. Let's see here. Lauren says, is there a way to access Toontown from backstage? Could they open a thoroughfare like they do on Main Street during the fireworks? I don't know, Lauren, because the only way they could really do that would be through Galaxy's Edge, and I think that breaks too many storytelling things. Thoughts on how hard they are going to go for Christmas, Megan? We will get there in a minute. And Tony says, what are the odds we see a projected show on Guardians fireworks for Avengers Campus? Well, I had always dreamed that they would use the Guardians building as a giant movie screen, because it has the shape, it has the girth, and they also do that over in Paris where they do, I believe, a Star Wars show on the side of their Tower of Terror. They don't have Guardians like we do here. And so that would be awesome. But the problem is where the dark ride is going in, the dark ride would basically take up the more of the flatter portion of the building. And I don't think that with the way our Guardians building is positioned, there's not really enough footprint of people to see the projection. So it's still, I think, possibly in play, but I just think the way that everything got built around the Guardians building, I don't know that we will see it used for a projection show because it's not the same angles that they use it out in Paris. Any rumblings? Scully Girl says, any rumblings about Ogas or about Ogas? Got Ogas on the brain after being there all week. Oogie Boogie Bash, bud? Well, we're going to get to Halloween in a minute, my friend. All right, so let's move along. I see everybody wants to talk Halloween. Not surprised by that. That's why I have it in the notes. I'm a step ahead of you, even though I'm behind you. Okay, Avengers Campus. This is one thing I wanted to talk about with everybody for Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus now has no line to get inside of it. Tuesday, the line went, goodbye. And what's interesting about that is I hear there's a little bit of line in the morning, but if you go in the afternoon, I was there on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday afternoon, and it was just a walk through into Avengers Campus. Now, you will still need a boarding group to ride web slingers. By the way, if doing this for 5 minutes puts physical strain on your body, you need to get out. You need to do more. I'm going to do it for 5 minutes right now just to show you that I won't even lose my breath. Maybe I will lose my breath. But I've heard people like, oh, web slingers is such a workout. I'm like, what do you do with the rest of your life if you can't do this for 5 minutes? Like, there's a lot harder things to do in this world than to have to do this. Somebody let me know when it's been 5 minutes. Well, the interesting thing, Tony Mendez, is that the line to get into Avengers Campus was mostly there because of social distancing. Also, they have fixed the food in Avengers Campus and that the 2 shawarma carts, now you can do walk up. I walked up with 2 people in front of me and I was able to get a shawarma on Saturday, no problem at all. Also, they have added in a nice standby line for Pim Test Kitchen. So they really righted a lot of the opening day wrongs, which is typical. You know, we see a lot of these lands opened up and they're a little bit bumpy in the start. But I think the big thing for them was that they had to abide by all of these rules. And now that people can just kind of go in willy-nilly and stand where they'd like, it makes it so much easier and it doesn't feel overwhelmed. So Avengers Campus, a lot of the things that people like me and other people started to complain about, hold on, because you actually would stop when the next board loads. Next board's loading. But a lot of the things that seemed wrong in the beginning, it's been 5 minutes? All right, thanks, dude. Didn't even lose my breath. Maybe lost my place, but didn't lose my breath. Leonie says, would you consider doing another live stream from Avengers Campus to catch the shows this round? So Leonie, I've actually been filming all of the shows in Avengers Campus. And what I'm working on is a video where you can actually see all the different shows, but shot multi-camera. So wherever the action happens, there's different views, like the Spider-Man video I did that shows the Spider-Man show with multiple cameras so you can see all the different angles. It's really, really hard to do. You're going to give me a seizure. It's really hard to like organically capture all the shows in the live stream because they do them at a really odd day or odd time of the day. But I do know this, around the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour, the rhythm is they will do Doctor Strange, then they do Spider-Man, and then they do Black Widow. So you can kind of hop from thing to thing with only about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of down in between them. Larry says, I heard you can ask for a standby later in the evening. I have heard that there's a standby later in the evening as well for web slingers. I haven't done it personally, but I have heard that as well. Okay. Brickey Mouse bringing us all the multi-camera. You know, if I'm going to film something, I just want to make sure that it's in a way where it's fun. Okay, let's move on. Other big things that'll be coming back this summer is on Friday, July 2nd. To kick off the big fireworks weekend, we will get Matterhorn's bobsleds back. Once again, if you're there on the 1st or maybe the end of June, you might be lucky to get a soft preview of Matterhorn bobsleds going again. And also the Jungle Cruise will be returning. I've heard the 15th of July, but I think the hard date, like bet your butt on it date, is going to be the 16th, which, as you know, will be one day before the 66th anniversary of Disneyland. I will be there on that Saturday. I don't believe they're going to do anything too special for the 66th anniversary. And as you can see, I did something that I would suggest Disney should do is just take the 65th, duplicate the 6, and you got a logo that you can get some use out of, because this logo really never got its fair share last year. Oh my God. No jokes on boats. Tony Mendez. Man, I don't know if you guys seen my vlog that I put up Saturday from my adventures out there Friday at the park, but why does Disney feel like when they have water, they have to add jokes? I did the canoes Friday for the first time ever. I didn't even know the canoes also have cringy jokes, and jokes that just don't even make any sense. Like the female cast member that was in the front of our boat just says the guy in the back of the boat used to be an addict. I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of his personal business. And she's like, used to be an addict. Used to be addicted to soap. Like, well, what? And he's like such an alcoholic that he's drinking soap to try to get the alcohol content out of it, because that's a real thing people do in rehab. And she goes, but don't worry, he's all clean now. I was like, at least on the Jungle Cruise, they're saying that the elephants brought their trunks so they can go swimming. I mean, that at least makes sense, because there's an elephant looking at me. It's not like when you're on the canoes, you go buy a big thing of soap. Like, I don't even get it, man. I don't even get it. Do I like the Matterhorn? I love the Matterhorn. I love it so much. It's great. All right. Moving along. Lamplight Lounge, to adjust things. The upper part of Lamplight Lounge is going to start to become a where you can get a walk-up reservation, which would be really great. It seems like Disney learned that during the pandemic that putting all of the food and everything in mobile ordering was breaking the parks. So there's a lot of adjustments that are coming this way. MiceChat was reporting today that coming soon, you'll be able to do a standby to get into the upper tier patio, which I'm saying, like, if you gave me a choice, do I want to sit on the top of Lamplight or the bottom? I'm going top all day long. It's great. No word yet on the return of World of Color, but DCA definitely could use something evening related, in particularly just to get a lot of the people out of Avengers Campus and on the other side of the park. It's how Walt wanted the boats, the canoes. Oh, my Lord. I don't know why the cringy jokes have to be on the boats. Gina says, Brickey, you drinking the coffee and Oga's was amazing. Well, thank you so much. There might be more of that hitting the vlog tomorrow. They were just pumping me with drinks and I was loving it. Over on the Fast Pass, my bud Scully Girl Jess says, that outdoor lower level Lamplight is absolutely amazing, though. Our Incredicoaster view was unbeatable. Yeah, chilling down there by the Incredicoaster when we were there hanging out together during Touch of Disney, that was a sweet, sweet spot. Not going to lie. But that same spot up in the air, maybe even better. Maybe even better. For my money. I like being on the balcony up top. Up top, don't stop. All right, let's move along here. Now, Halloween, we ask. It appears that by the anniversary, most of Disneyland, like 90% of Disneyland will be back and buzzing the way that it's supposed to. It looks like at that moment, we will have all the major attractions back in the rotation. I would expect that maybe sometime in July, they start announcing that these other shows could come back in August. Adam Morea says, I love watching Mixed Magic on the Rivers of America. They had the projections there too. The Frozen remix is a banger. Definitely have to rip your shirt off. Dude, I'm telling you, if you have a shirt on at the end of that Frozen song, you don't even Disney, bro. Facts. So I would anticipate that Disney right now is loving the drip of like, hey, this new thing's happening. This new thing's happening because it's just keeping them in the news. It's keeping everybody talking about them. It's keeping a lot of attention on the park. It's making people like, man, I'm waiting for the APs to come back, but maybe I need to go buy another ticket, get another reservation. They've also fixed the reservations now. It's not buy this, then hope to get that. Like, it's more streamlined. Some people brought to my attention, they probably wanted to launch that way, but maybe it was they didn't have the software fully capable. I don't know if I buy that because they already had it out of Walt Disney World. Nonetheless, though, I could see July being the announcements for what's going to happen in August, things coming back online. Therefore, I would say sometime at the end of July, beginning of August, maybe even sooner, as fast as things are going, we should find out what our Halloween fates are. I will say this, though. I'm going to predict right now, with no insight at all, that there will be Halloween decorations. There will be Christmas decorations. I don't know that there will be Oogie Boogie, because typically those tickets would already be on sale for that to start in September. So it would be really, really sped up if they were to do that. I'm just not sure that that will happen this year. I give it about a 40% chance of happening, but I'd say there's probably a 60% chance that it just doesn't happen because they just have so many other things to figure out, like Fantasmic, Magic Happens, things that happen every day in the park that bring people to the park each and every day, versus trying to get in a separate ticketed event. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Also with the way that Oogie Boogie works over in DCA, it means shutting down Avengers Campus early because they kick everybody out of that park at 6 o'clock for the 6 to 7 o'clock transformation over to only Halloween ticket purchasers. So I can guarantee you we will have decorations. I think maybe don't get your heart set on a party and you'll be in a good spot. Because then if it happens, you'll be like, yes, surprise, 2021, making up for lost time. But if it doesn't happen, you'll just be like, sick. We got pumpkins, we got purple, we got orange, we got green. And that will be a win too. Mikey Stain says, I heard they're converting the Redwood Trail to a permanent Villains Grove. Where did you hear that from? You tell me where you heard that from, Mikey Staines. Over in the Fast Pass, I got my boy Bree saying, yeah, tickets usually go out in early spring. And see, that's the thing. If we compare our timeline to Walt Disney World's timeline, Walt Disney World has been open a year ahead of us. Last year, they just did very light decorations. I believe this year we will get more decorations than they did in 2020. But even Walt Disney World's, is it the Boo Bash? It looks like a pretty conservative offering. And keep in mind, they had a year to get to a very conservative offering. Oogie Boogie is a pretty hardcore event. And I think that if they did something smaller for a similar price, they would have a high level of dissatisfaction from their customers. Fast Pass is popping over in Club 1313. I love it. Fast Pass is back, baby. Scully says, do you think they'll maybe play with those location-based villain character meet and greets that they had at Oogie's? I feel like they fit in great with the post-COVID parks. Yeah, Scully Girl, I feel like they wouldn't want to give away too much of what they did for an extra ticket, but you might see one or two of those if Oogie doesn't happen. And, for sure, like we might be able to see, if the Dapper Dans come back, we might be able to see the Cadaver Dans just, on Friday and Saturday night, like cruising through the rivers of America. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. And B says, earlier this year, I was told Villains Night was going to happen, but yeah, I don't know if that will happen. Yeah, it'll be interesting, Anna. I think there's still a lot for them to figure out. Brett, thank you so much for the super chat. You didn't put in a comment, bud. Make sure you, all caps. If you're putting a comment in, all caps. So Slowboat Brickey sees it. Lauren says, could also we get a single night after hour event? My Villains Night ticket is still sitting in my account. It's interesting. My Star Wars night disappeared from my account, but I never got any money back. So hopefully I'm still earmarked for the Star Wars night. Villains Grove was sick, guys. Villains Grove was unbelievable. So I hope that comes back when Oogie does. I just think maybe this year it just might be too much going on at the resort for them to handle that. But I can guarantee you we will get some decorations. Guarantee you that. All right, so then that brings us to the idea of where are we at with the legacy pass holders? If I'm looking at it right, in June, we pretty much know everything that's happened in July. I think July will pretty much set the stage for what's going to happen in August. I also feel like at some point in August, end of July, we'll hear about what is happening for fall with Halloween and Christmas. And so I believe that if we're going to hear an announcement about the legacy pass holder, what the new membership rewards program is going to be, I would think that that would probably get announced after everything is back. And hear me out. They've been going fast. They've been going harder than most people could predict. Like they got the park open before Knott's Berry. Nobody saw that one coming. That was wild. But I think if they're going to try to encourage their biggest fans, as they keep calling us, I think if they're going to keep encouraging their biggest fans to come back. Brett, hold on. Breaking news. We have Brett's all cap. We have Brett's all cap comment for his super chat. Everybody, shh. It's Brett's turn. Looking to get into some restaurants on July 2nd. Is Blue Bayou back to capacity? Sorry, not trying to yell. So, from what I hear, the restaurants are back at full capacity. However, Brett, the reservations for Blue Bayou are like the hardest thing to get, and you're trying to get those 4th of July weekend. So the only thing I could suggest is just randomly keep looking over at the reservations, and maybe some will go back online. People do cancel, and when people cancel, more get added into the pot. But you're looking for a miracle, bud. So I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's going to take a lot of persistence and patience. There we go. Federalist says, right now there doesn't seem to be too much difference between a weekday and a weekend in Disneyland. Do you think eventually they will go back to longer hours, more experiences Friday through Sunday? Yeah, Federalist, I think right now the idea is just to get everything back online, to just keep bringing more and more back, which your question plays perfectly into the legacy pass holder transformation. I think the idea right now is just to bring more and more people back, get the schedule looking more familiar. And when it then does look familiar, we'll get those extra hours on the weekends. We'll get some of those little extras. And I think then once they've like, okay, it looks like it used to be, here's now how you can give us more money to earn some rewards. That would just make sense to me as a business person, that to try to sell whatever this membership program is, when people will be like, it's not even open till midnight, and you can't even do this. Walt Disney was alive, he'd be dead. I think that if they did it right now, they'd be met with a lot of complaints. I think if the park matures back into normalcy, then that would be the proper time to announce whatever this phase is coming next. But I will tell you, after Bobby Chapstick's comments to the shareholders, and after what JD said to the LA Times, don't expect a lot. Membership program rewarding our biggest fans is not the same as here's something in your wallet that will get you into the park whenever you want. I think we should all just fingers crossed that they don't get too big for their britches and think that they can really just give a subpar product that's going to replace this thing that many people love. Like I talked to this sweet dude, Lee. My new best friend at the park, Lee, was telling me that he bought his daughter an annual pass when she was 9. She's in her 30s now and is married, and it's like something that their family has always done. And he just like my man Lee just seemed devastated that his family didn't have the passes. They didn't have that freedom. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I will say this though. Disney has a very interesting thing ahead for them. if they max out the park and bring the population up, but don't offer a good membership program, like if they just try to flood it on individual tickets, everybody's a loser. But if they keep the attendance lower and don't do a pass, so it costs you more when you go there, but when you go there, you can have a truly enjoyable time and space, and you can ride everything you want to ride. I'm not saying that it's better than the pass, but it's definitely better than a park that's just flooded and nobody's winning. So, to be determined. To be determined. Carlos Sosa says, Disneyland is a scam. You're telling me, buddy. They have all my bank account information. They have most of my money. They have my free time. Disneyland has robbed me of my life because I love it so much. Big scam. Biggest scam I ever fell in love with. All right, over on the Fast Pass, let's see here. We've got Mikey Stain says, I'm only here because of Breeze. All right, you don't abuse the Fast Pass, Mikey Stains. You're suspended. Tony Mendez, Mark, did you book your Walt Disney World October 1st Magic Kingdom reservation? I did mine today. It originally showed me its full capacity, but after refreshing, I was able to get in. Yes, I have my reservations all aligned. Here's the dates. Here are my Walt Disney dates. 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of September. I will be live streaming from one of the different Walt Disney World parks each of those days. And then on Friday, October the 1st, when the 50th anniversary kicks off, I will be doing the Brickey version of Amazing Race, where I'll be racing around the resort to give you as much 50th anniversary coverage as possible. Now I'm ready for the biggest scam I ever fell in love with the musical. Oh, it'll happen. Don't worry. Disneyland gets me singing. The scam gets me going. All right. This is where I'm going to start talking to you guys and seeing what your opinions are about a lot of the different things we talked about and me sort of projecting what our summer season could look like. But I want to let everybody know that tomorrow, Club 1313 members, you're going to get this week's podcast a day earlier than everybody else, as well as getting an extra hour. Me and my bud Philander Butler did a deep dive on Avengers Campus, how we could see it grow. A lot of the things that they did really, I think Avengers Campus was a little bit of an operational nightmare the first couple of weeks. And that's because of the time that we're living in, because of all the different restrictions. But if you get the operations out of the way, they have really built a very, very strong foundation for things to come. So tomorrow, 1313 members will get this week's podcast a day earlier, and you'll also get an extra hour of content. This episode runs 2 hours, and it really goes through all the minutia. So my way of saying thank you to being a Club 1313 member and supporting the videos Monday through Friday on YouTube and podcasts coming out weekly. Appreciate that. And also want to let anybody know that if you want to support the content, you can always become a member over at club1313.com. Would love to have you. Not only does it make all the videos and the podcast content possible, but it is a really awesome community of people. And if you're someone like me who's like, I really want to talk about Disneyland, but everybody in my life is sick of me talking about Disneyland, this is your home to talk about that. And coming up next week on the podcast, a very long and in-depth interview with Katie and Spencer of Best Life and Beyond, a new series where I'm going to start interviewing a lot of the people that bring you Disney content. But I have been a professional podcaster now for over 1,400 episodes and nearly 10 years. So we're going to start interviewing a lot of people and really talking about how a lot of the Disneyland content is made for fans, the people that make it, sort of a behind the scenes of the people that have probably led you through the magic once or twice. So I'm really excited to hook up this week with Katie and Spencer and bring you guys a really in-depth interview next week and talk about a lot of different things that these two creators have brought into the world. So there we go. We've got a lot of stuff coming up for everybody. All right. With the last couple of minutes we have, let's rip through some comments here. Megan Mouse says, but what about Christmas? Just decorations and no ride decorates? Well, Megan, I feel that's over in the Fast Pass, by the way. There she is. I would say that Christmas will definitely get their decorations, definitely get the Christmas tree. I feel confident that we will get the Small World layover. I have to say, friends, I'm a little bit on the fence if the the overlay, had somebody once correct me, a layover is when you're waiting for your flight. An overlay is what they do at Disneyland. I'm a little on the fence if they'll do it to the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion just had a super refurb done over the downtime. It's more popular than ever. I feel like 75% certain that it will be the Nightmare Before Christmas version, the holiday version. But there's also a part of me that would say if there was ever a year that they wanted to skip it, they could get away with this year because people are just excited to be back. And I could see some people being like, but I didn't get to see the regular version yet because I live out of state. So I don't know. That one's a little bit up in the air, but I do believe that we will see the Small World come back. I believe in that one. Oh, old timey music, see? Great Eating Drinker says they just need to do APs and have them as flex passes. Makes sense to me with keeping the reservation system in place, but that's probably too logical. Yeah, Great Eating Drinker. I'm there with you. It would seem in my mind that with the reservation system, each day you could say, okay, here's what we have allocated for hotel guests who spend the most amount of money. Here's what we have for single tickets. And here's what we have at the top for pass holders. And as they got closer to the date and go, well, we didn't book out all 3 of our hotels, so let's take some of those over to pass holders. We didn't sell all of our tickets for Tuesday. Let's push those over to pass holders. So the pass holders' dates would get gobbled up, but then as they don't hit the metrics of those other tiers, they could always slide those over to pass holders and pass holders would grab them. So therefore, if their goal was to always get the park at 80% full, they could always get there by backfilling with pass holders. That being said, with it being a limited amount of spots, I would see the pass holder price go way up. If I was Disney and they're doing the reservation system, I would say, here's how it should work. You have your rewards program is what I'm going to say. You have your rewards program, which is going to just be budget and cheap. And then you have Club 33. In the middle, there should be like, hey, you still want your pass? Cool. It's $5,000 a year. You got 5Gs? You can buy your pass. Like there should be something in the middle of those two. That's the space that I'm eyeballing. Larry says Walt Disney World hits Christmas at November 6th. Oh man, I am so excited for Christmas this year. Maria says, Brickey, your YouTube videos are the best. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Maria. Cheers. Let's see here. Over in the Fast Pass. I'm just going to leave Fast Pass up for the rest of the day. My friend Scully Girl Jess says, I'd be down to rip a Flex Pass. There are some benefits to the reservation thing I didn't expect. Bobby Chapstick. Vague post. Hey. Bobby Chapstick. JD, Kenny P. Rocks is the man that should be covering this because his poetry is too addictive. Jason says getting those San Pellegrino product placement dollars. I wish somebody would give me a product placement dollars, but I will tell you this. This is a free one because nobody would ever sponsor me for anything. This delicious cocoa and coffee flavors, this thing right here. This is a delicious, delicious little drink with just a little dash of caffeine. Just a little of caffeine. Waiting for that mic to go rip. I hope not. I hope I don't break this microphone. This microphone's expensive, man. Yes, Christmas is coming, Serena, and so nice to see you and your family out of the park this weekend. Mikey Stain said he heard something. But this is also the guy that said they're converting over Redwood Trail to the Villains Grove all year long. So Now he's on my suspect list. I heard the new AP program will be called Chappie's Chaps. But it's just going to be NFTs. You are some funny people. Wondering if I need to apply for Club 33 right now. Oh, that's amazing. Brett, you're funny too. Oh, dude, the vanilla version of this is really good too, Brett. It's a good one, man. Larry says $2,000 pass, no payments. I'm there. I'm right there with you, man. They did a 2G pass all up front, but you could get your life back. Poof. Take my money. Take my money. All right, everybody, this is where we end this week's live stream. I want to thank everybody over at Club 1313 for making today's video possible. Don't forget, tomorrow I'll be having the Avengers Campus episode out for you guys a day early with an extra hour of content. And also next week, we'll be doing the same with an extra long extended interview with Katie and Spencer over at Best Life and Beyond. If you enjoy the content and you want to help the community and make sure I can keep doing this for everybody, please consider becoming a member today at club1313.com. Scully Girl says, I'm hyped out of my mind for the holidays this year too. See, this is where I get crazy, is that I love Halloween and Christmas so much because of the pageantry, right? And we didn't get it last year. We got shortchanged last year in California and as Disneylanders. So every day that it's been a little bit chilly or cold, I go, oh my God, I can't wait for Christmas. And I feel insane because I shouldn't be wishing away summer. Like summer officially just started this weekend, right? But I'm so excited for the fall. It is my favorite time of year. Football, Halloween, Christmas music, peppermint, everything. Oh, please, Santa, make it happen. Make it happen. Lauren says, same, maybe we'll get lucky to have something in place where you can enter after a certain time without a reservation. So that's another thing I was thinking about, Lauren, with the annual pass program. If they did do a pass, maybe if the park isn't totally like maxed out at 2:00, they could do a standby thing where like we can accept, right now the park can handle 1,000 standby guests. So if you're one of the lucky people to go over at 2:00, you could get a standby admission to the park that day. It would be amazing. It'd be amazing if they did it. You guys are just greasing me. You know that I can't stop talking Disney. If you keep putting comments in, I'll keep reading them. You guys, this is a scam, and I just fell. I'm crazy aware of what you're trying to do. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. I will be live at the park this week on Thursday. There will be no live stream from Disneyland tomorrow. Taking a little bit of a break after hitting it 3 times hard last week. I'll be at the park on Thursday, so there'll be a live stream for you on Thursday. But tomorrow I'll have a vlog for you, and Friday I'll have a vlog for you. And if you happen to be around at DCA on Thursday, look me up, because I might need a partner in crime. Let me treat you to a treat that no one has ever had at Disneyland before. You want to talk about breaking the news? I'm going to break the treats this Thursday. And I'm not talking about a Doritos gauntlet. We're talking about something even more insane. Friends, till the next time I see you talking to me about Disneyland. I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disneyland updates. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you twice as much for doing this, ding, ding, doing that, and doing 1313. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so happy we found one another. Till the next time. Now hit stop without looking so you can keep constant eye contact. Can't do it. Don't hit the wrong button.